Coach Brad here with another tip for your business. And what I want to share with you today is one of the most amazing principles in nature and also in business that I've come across that can be really powerful in the way that you look at your business. It's something called the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. Now, the guy who came up with this was a bloke called Vilfredo Pareto. He was an Italian guy, and basically what uncovered it for him was that he learned in his region that 20% of the people had 80% of the wealth. He then went on to discover that in his garden, 20% of his flowering plants and so forth produced 80% of the crop. Now, how do you start to apply that to your business? Well, there's a number of different areas where this is, like I said, like gravity. So for those my clients who work with me on a regular basis, you know I have my gravity wall. This is one of those principles. You can argue with it at your own peril, but when you start to see it in your business, it opens up a whole range of very powerful possibilities. So let's take the first one. 80% of your customers are providing, 20% of your customers are providing 80% of your sales. So let's have a look at the graph and what that actually means. So this side here I've got it labelled as output, and over this side here I've got it labelled as input. So let's say we've got 0 down here up to 100 customers. What 80-20 says is that 20 of your customers, so if we take the 20 from 80 to 100, they're going to give you 80% of your sales. And these bars here represents the volume produced by that 20%. This 80% down here is going to give you only 20%. I've just done this analysis with one of my clients, and what we discovered was that 71% of their turnover was coming from only 9% of their clients. What that translated to was that they have about 87 clients who are providing all this stuff down in here, which brings me to the next part. They're running around spending all their time on these annoying little customers down here. What about your team? On average, 20% of your team are going to do 80% of the work. So if we look at all your team here and line them all up and work out how much output they're actually providing for your business, what we're probably going to find is that 20% are doing 80% of the volume of work. What about complaints from your customers? If we line up all your customers down here, customer A, B, C, D, E, F, G and so forth, we're going to find that 20% of those are giving you 80% of your complaints. What about your activities on an average day? If we listed out all the things that you're doing, wrote them down, you know, doing the books, sales work, working with the team, whatever it is for you and your business, what you're going to discover that the value that it provides to your business or the output, 20% of those activities are going to be giving you the best value in your business. So you need to be really clear on what these activities are down here. You know, if you're doing things like running around doing the posting or the banking or the books, you really need to think about putting someone else on to do that stuff because it's not high value for your business. What about rain? 20% of the clouds produce 80% of the actual rainfall. Crime, 20% of the criminals are doing 80% of the crimes in our neighbourhood. But one of the most powerful places I've seen this is in your time. And this occurred to me through a number of different things. But basically, what I've learned and how 80-20 applies to this is with my time in particular, that I need to spend large blocks of time singly focused on something to really get the momentum I need to get it achieved or get it done. And for me, this point here, the 80% point, occurs between 30 and 45 minutes into whatever it is that I'm doing. So if I get 30 to 45 minutes of uninterrupted time, I get into what I call the zone. And you've probably heard of the zone before, where my output dramatically increases. What I find with most business owners though, is they spend time down here and not getting any momentum. So they're going backwards and forwards in the one place, not getting to this critical mass. So what you've got to do is set that time aside in your diary and block it out, fence it off, fight for it. Don't let anyone in there. So however long that is, like if it's a 2-hour block, but know that it's probably going to take you 20, 30, 40 minutes to get into the momentum to start to make it happen. In that time slot that you've fenced off, turn your phone off, turn your email off, remove any distractions, tell the people in your business or your team, I need to be alone and work through this. So hopefully that's been powerful for you. Have a look in all areas of your life to see that 1 in 5 things is going to give you the most valuable results. I'm Brad Flynn. Thanks for watching and have fun with the Pareto Principle.